it's Kilobyte here. This video, we're going to go over some tools that I find work well for me, a DIYer, doing metal work, patching panels, installing panels, that type of thing, and hopefully save you some money when you go to do your tool selection and purchasing for similar projects. Now, I do highly recommend practicing. That is how you get good at it, and you're not going to mess up the real thing, hopefully, if you've already practiced and know what you're doing. And that's what I've been doing with this panel. All right, removing bondo. This was caked in bondo. Believe it or not, I actually did some hammer and dolly work on this already. So to get that off, screwdriver, you could use a chisel, I suppose, and a hammer, break it up. If you want also, you can hammer it, break it off that way. For the thinner stuff, the wire wheel cuts it pretty good. It actually works quite well. Stripper disc. This actually works quite well on the thinner bondo, and you can use a flap disc. What is this? 40 grit is a little too aggressive, probably. Make it like an 80, but even then I would still lean towards these two. Do not use an actual grinding disc. For tighter spots, you can use the mini belt sander or like a little die grinder, but try not to dig into the metal. You don't want to thin it out any more than it already is. For removing paint, hands down, the stripper disc, it absolutely works the best by far, and it doesn't damage the metal. Yes, this got damp and rusted, but this doesn't damage the metal, which is great. Wire wheel also will remove the paint, and it works well, but it doesn't cover as much. Don't even, it's not worth it. If this is all you got, you can use it, but use a gentle grit on it. Don't use a big coarse grit that's going to thin the metal. And again, for the tighter places, you can use the mini belt sander or a die grinder with a more of a fine grit pad on it. So let's talk cutting body panels. You can use a grinder with a cutting wheel, not a grinding wheel. You got them like this is a 1/16 inch 40. Got just a DeWalt 0.045 inch. This one is 3/64 inch. All these will cut. I will tell you, use the thinnest one you can find. Believe it or not, this Dragon cut I got off Amazon, it's thin and it cuts nice thin line. That's what you want. A body saw can cut really thin. I can't find my blades. Make sure you got metal blades, and that'll cut nice. Just be aware that it'll cut down to, depending on how long the blade is, but it'll cut an inch or two past, so make sure there's nothing behind it. You can also use a die grinder with a cutting wheel. This is 3-inch, 2-inch, so if you got a tight space, you can use a die grinder. I obviously have been using this for most of my cuts, and it has worked. Again, use the thin ones. Of course, you got your plasma cutter. No, I don't actually recommend that for cutting body panels unless you're cutting a piece from the inside so you can get access to remove the bigger panel and make sure there's nothing behind it, because this is not precise. It's quick and it's fun, but it will tear up anything behind the piece you're cutting, and it is not a precise cut. So you got your panel cut. How do you fit it? Well, This mini belt sander, wow, this is my favorite tool now. It works great for taking off metal to get panels to fit. You can use like a flap disc on a grinder. That'll work obviously, but this is just great. All right, if you need to shape a panel, hammer and dolly definitely will help. And screwdriver, if you need to make it match, you can push it in, make it match that way. You got your magnets for holding a panel in place while you go to weld. You have clamps, all kinds of locking pliers. This little baby is great if it'll go in where you want it to weld, because it puts this copper on the back side, and this is mainly for spot welds, but it'll work as a clamping, and it works as a heat sink type and for filling in holes. And a piece of copper here or aluminum can go behind it. It has the same effect there. We'll get into more of that when we get into the welds. Let's talk spot welds. So first you got to find them. You can use the mini belt sander, works okay. You can use a flap disc on a grinder or a die grinder. And this type of flap disc can also help for finding your spot welds. You just hit the panel and hopefully you'll see where they are. You won't see all of them, I guarantee it. And then you'll take a tool like this and a hammer, you'll slide it in between, and you'll start tapping it, spread them until it gets resistance. Oh, you found another one. You can use an air hammer, but I will warn you, if you're not experienced using an air hammer, be very, very, very careful. I don't use an air hammer. I use this because this works really well and I don't wreck anything. I don't dig into metal I didn't expect to. Now for drilling them, you have this type of drill bit. They're okay. Then you got this type, and they're okay. Honestly, this is really not a great way to do it. You got a punch. I do recommend a punch. So when you find it, put the punch on it. And I'm not gonna do it on this, but make a little hole, hopefully, which will then allow this little pilot to stay in the hole, hopefully, and drill centered, not have it skip around. And this also has a little point to do the same. And by the way, they do sell this stuff to increase the life of your spot weld grinders. Should help. And I will have links for a lot of this stuff in the description. For making spot weld holes, I actually like this. This is a manual one. I can pick any size within its range. This is a 1/4 inch, by the way. I can set the depth of how far in I want it, or I can leave it loose like I have it. And yeah, it's a little hard to do with one hand. Impossible perhaps. But you slide that in there and you punch it, and in sheet metal it's not hard. It'll let you punch, not a problem. And you can get them farther back on the flange. So like I made this, this, and this. I made all these with that, including these. So you notice these aren't right up at the edge like the ones that are air powered. They'll do it for you, but they only got a very limited depth that they'll go in. So, you know, for a DIY, just go with the manual. Honestly, I think it's better. When you go to weld them, use a locking plier or something. hold that tight. And by the way, make sure you have it really clean back there, or you're gonna have welding problems. Yeah. For the stitch welding, obviously you're gonna need a welder. A MIG with gas is what I use. You can do it with a flux core, but it runs hotter and you're much more likely to distort the panel. Make sure you got your settings right. There's a video on how to help find those. And I recommend 0.023 or 0.025 wire. And you're just going to stitch weld it. I'll show you in a later video how to actually stitch weld it. I highly recommend a piece of copper or aluminum. This is just a copper pipe that I flattened. Just hammered it flat. And you can actually put this behind here, hold it with a clamp or a magnet, and that helps absorb the heat so you get less expansion and shrinkage here, because when you hit it with the heat, it expands and then it shrinks. That's why you gotta control that heat, and this will help control it. Also, it'll help if you have wider gaps. You're gonna also need a wire brush, and I do this, clean them every time I stop to let it cool. Do this. If you are going to use air on it between welds to cool it, obviously you're going to need an air source, whether it's from a compressor or just your leaf blower type thing. This is DIY, you use what you got. And to sand down these welds, the mini belt sounder works great, or a small angle grinder works great. I wouldn't go more than like 80 grit as far as coarseness. You can use an actual grinder, 4.5-inch grinder with like a flap wheel or something. Just try not to get the metal around the welds. Just get the welds, because you don't want to thin this metal any more than it already is. And watch your heat. Even when you're grinding, it creates a lot of heat. Don't just have your grinder going along in a close proximity, not moving it much. It's going to create a lot of heat, and that'll warp the panel just as much as welding it. So hopefully this will help you pick the right tools that you actually need, which ones work and save you some money, but not getting the stuff you don't need. The next video in this series, I plan on being the actual welding on the fender I am going to keep and repair. Assuming I don't find bondo in it too. I'm pretty sure it's all right. I've already checked the inside. So we will be doing patch panels, filling in holes. That includes spot welds. I'll show you how to do those, and hopefully it's helpful. If so, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you got any questions, and I will have links to a lot of this stuff in the description. God bless.